Hi, I'm Mike Usenick of Pink Sock Podcast, sitting here with Gary Moat. How you doing, brother?
Hi, I'm Naomi.
I'm doing fine, yeah.
It's nice finally talking to you. We've been trying to do this for quite some time.
Yeah,
I
on you go.
I checked out your latest album, Stand Up and Fight. I had it sent to me, and it's incredible. When's that come out again? There it is.
Stand and fight.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight somebody else's song.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I got my brain all mixed up. But yeah, it's a damn good album.
Deal. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, it came out in last December, and it's done very well. So everybody, nobody says a bad word against it. So that must be good, mustn't it?
Uh-huh. You guys are quite incredible. You actually was originally in, and we don't have to talk about your past if you don't want to, but you was originally in Heavy Pettin.
Yeah.
We did just recently talk to Hammy of Heavy Pettin, so I just found it very interesting that now I'm talking to you.
Oh, I don't know. Don't ask me. I have no idea. Way back in the day, that's right. We just grew up together. Not Hammy, of course, but we just grew up together, and formed a band, and then that was it. So that band evolved into Heavy Pettin in the early 80s. So yeah, and I was the drummer, so that was that. And all these years later, I am the vocalist in Burnt Out Wreck, and I've got 3 albums out. So
with Burnt Out
everybody
Wreck,
likes it. That's good.
Is Burnt Out Wreck your first project that you sung on?
No, I started back in 91, so 91, 92, and I became a vocalist then because being a songwriter, you might as well sing it yourself, it's easier to sing it. It's in my head, so it comes out, and my voice comes out, and try and get somebody else to get their head around that's quite difficult, I suppose, not that I've ever tried it. Nobody's ever gave me a song and said, "Can you do this?" So.
Well, it's very awesome hearing the drummer singing in a band. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the times it's either a guitarist or it's just a vocalist. It's always cool, like kind of like the Eagles does it, where it's the drummer singing. Was you kind of nervous going into it singing after the success of Heavy Pettin, or was you more comfortable singing?
Of course, you've got to stand right at the front of the stage, haven't you? And all eyes are on you. It's not something that you actually realize being a drummer or a guitar player or that. You think that audiences are looking at the band, but in reality, audiences are probably looking at the vocalist because they're trying to watch and listen to what you're saying. But I never realised that, obviously, playing drums. So I could hide behind the drums, set up the toms and the cymbals. Nobody can see me in my little world. and then you've got to come out and stand there. And you go, oh my, look at all these people. They're just looking at me, And you're just like, you got to go on with it, You can't stop, can you? That's you,
See, it's very easy to hide. It's easy to hide behind a drum set. It's not easy to hide behind a little microphone stand.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's what I'm saying. So once I started doing it, and especially now in Burnt Out Wreck, I just go out there. I get beyond the monitors until my feet are on the edge of the stage, and I'm practically falling over the edge of it. Which I probably will because I'm old and doddery these days. But never mind. And I just love screaming it out there and getting on with it. That's rock and roll. That's what it's all about.
So what's the future of Burnt Out Wreck look like? Do we have a tour coming up or anything like that?
Yeah, we've just said that, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been talking about
that. Just we do have gigs for the rest of the year planned every month, for the rest of the year. It's not a tour because we find that pretty hard to do, what with families and day jobs, we just can't just disappear and, at our age, as it were, we'd have to be getting serious money to be able to do that, and that's just something that isn't available these days, it's just not there. So yeah, we have got some good gigs coming up, some good festivals, and throughout the year. So yeah, we'll be doing that.
It's hard nowadays to
on you
tour
go.
for people. It's really hard to tour for people, especially with the cost of gas and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah, and people just don't have the money to be coming out the way that they used to do. And if you imagine paying £20, say, for a ticket in a regular sized club, or as it were, and then you've got to have £5 a pint, who's going to be coming out? And then maybe buy a CD or buy a T-shirt, and
yeah,
and there's so many bands, isn't there? There's so many bands trying to get into the same gigs, and all fighting for that, and so we're lucky to get gigs, actually, any gigs at all, but thank goodness we do.
I'm glad that you guys are getting gigs. You guys deserve all the good shit that you're getting, because your music kicks some serious balls. Like, it kicks you right in the nuts. You guys kind of remind me of like not in a bad way, but you guys remind me of kind of like a mixture of like Nazareth and AC/DC and all them really good, hard-hitting rock bands. And that's what I love about you guys. I love that classic sound.
All right, thanks. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's just the voice over that basic blues rock, isn't it? It's in a higher register, so therefore, you got your Bon Scott references and your Dan McCafferty references.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that plays that kind of rock and roll, So, yeah, okay, great. I'll take them all. I love all those bands,
It's like that Australian rock sound, kind of. Like, that's the sound that a lot of the Australian rock bands kind of have. Like you said, AC/DC. And I meant that as a compliment, because you have a hell of a singing voice. I'm glad that you stepped away from the drum set and started singing, because you do a damn good job.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's Aussie rock. Yeah, that's a good slant on it, I suppose.
So what band or like musician influenced you to get into music in the first place?
In the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just watching a show in Britain called Top of the Pops, when I was before I was even 10 years of age, back in the 60s, and watching the drummers in these bands and thinking, just tapping pots and pans in your mum's kitchen, and playing along with it until they decided that they better buy me a drum kit, because I'm wrecking everything. So, so I don't know. I mean, somebody said that to me the other day, and I said, "Yeah, the Osmonds, Crazy Horses, just loved that, at the time, and that's a rock and roll song, no problem. It's just right up there." But all the bands from the 60s, 70s, T-Rex and, The Sweet, Slade, everybody, from that kind of glam rocky era,
Slade is one of those bands. Slade's one of those bands that don't get enough credit, because a lot of their songs were covered by Quiet Riot later on, and Quiet Riot became famous for their music. So I think Slade deserves a lot more credit than what they get, especially by today's standards.
Yeah, I mean, Slade were an amazing band, and massive band all across Europe, and even in after, like you say, in the 80s, after Quiet Riot had taken Come On Feel the Noise? Was it?
Come On Feel the Noise, and I think they did another Slade cover too.
And once they done that, then Slade became big again, because that gave them a new audience, It's just so that was good. That was good for them,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I remember I went. Well, it's nearly 10 years, 8 to 10 years ago now. I actually went to audition for Slade.
Nice.
So
okay.
so I was in this little room, about 20 foot by 20 foot, with Dave Hill and the drummer from Slade and another bass player that was playing with him, and I had to play guitar and sing, and I was like, once I got in the room, I thought, you're in a room with Slade, what are you doing this for? What's happening? You start freaking, and they're trying to get me to play these. I've got 4 songs I had to learn, and I had fun, but I never got it, unfortunately,
You think it's because you were freaking out? I don't know.
I think it's just that Dave Hill's about the height of Ken Dodd's Diddy Men, and me stood on stage would smother him, because I'm 6 foot, just about 6 foot tall. I'm not a small guy, I'm a big guy, and he'd be like that, stood beside me, So no, I put it down to image, solely to image,
That makes
just probably wouldn't fit in.
That would make sense. They'd have to change your name to David and Goliath. That would have been cool to see you when you played, though. But you moved on to bigger and better things. Like, nothing against Slade, but you got your own thing now.
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah.
There's always a good thing compared to that. That's like Tony Iommi. He left Black Sabbath before they ever had an album to join Jethro Tull, and then he turned around and reformed Sabbath. So there's always a reason for shit like that happening.
Yeah, I must have realized, what am I doing?
That's what he said in his autobiography. What the hell am I doing?
Yeah. Stick with what you love, really. That's it.
Didn't you go on tour with Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah, when 1983. Yeah.
Do you have any
Ozzy
crazy
on the back of the
stories?
moon?
Do you have any
Yeah,
crazy
but I do. But Sharon would probably kill us if I told them. So.
Well, damn. That's no fun.
That woman's just. She'll be watching this.
She'll be watching. She hears Ozzy Osbourne. It's like Beetlejuice. She'll pop up.
Right.
So
now, obviously, crazy, really good, really crazy times. Obviously, from back then, going on tour like that with him and with Kiss, yeah.
Especially Bark
Kiss
at
Lick
the
It Up.
Moon.
Bark at the Moon and Kiss Lick It Up. So, and all that happened within 2 months of each other back in 1983 when we first got signed up. So it was a bit of a chucked in at the deep end kind of a deal,
I bet you that was some crazy fucking times though, especially around that era.
Yeah.
With like Kiss and Ozzy. Ozzy was still partying hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Some
most
great
definitely.
memories of it. Yeah.
Is he as wild as they said he was though? Can you at least tell us that?
Yes. Yeah, of course he was. Of course he was. Of course he was. He's just out off his jump, just and probably still is,
That dude, the fact he survived this long is wild, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what do you like to do on your free time when you're not writing music? Tell us a little bit about yourself, your hobbies outside of
Not writing music. Well, my wife's got some horses, so that tends to take up most of the life, really, There'll be no holidays for you because you've got to look after my horses.
How many horses y'all got? Oh shit.
5.
Yeah. It's a hard life,
I've never rode a horse.
But
I never have either.
nah,
Only a
no,
donkey.
you don't want to. I tried that. I tried that once on the beach at Blackpool going to.
Yeah, that's where I rode a donkey.
I never rode a horse or a donkey, but I did ride a camel once. But that's
Did
Oh,
you?
I've done that, yeah.
yeah, I was at a zoo and they let you ride a camel. So my thing is, I've
That's-
never rode a horse, but I rode on something bigger.
Yeah, aye. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Nah, I did. I done it once, and I got trampled. Nearly get trampled to death. Got my foot caught in the stirrup, and my boots were just too wide for the stirrup. So I got my left foot caught in it. He bucked me right off, so I ended up on the deck. He's galloping up the field, and I'm getting dragged along on my back. And then he tried to get rid of me, so he just started jumping up and down on me.
Oh, no.
And I was covered in hoof prints, all over my black and blue, big bruises all around about my nether
I'm
regions,
glad you're okay.
because that was where aye, I'm okay, aye. But that was a good 20 odd year ago, I suppose. That happened.
I mean, I'm glad you're okay,
so
man. You almost ended up
Yeah.
like Superman.
Superman.
Christopher Reeve.
Well, I don't know. I have had my two hips replaced in the past 2 years, 21 and 22. So that's 2 new hips I got. So maybe that contributed to it. You never know, do you?
Yeah,
Everybody
because
thought
sometimes,
it's just.
sometimes shit like that doesn't happen till later on. So.
Well, yeah, you don't know. You just don't know. It's yeah. So I don't know.
I'm glad you're doing all right though, man. That's some scary
Yeah.
shit.
But today I was out there tinkering around my motorbike, so I like bikes and I've not been on one for ages because of the hips, obviously, because I just couldn't sit on it. So I managed to get one a couple of years ago, and I've got on it just last year, at the end of last year, just before the weather got bad, and it's been undercover since then. So I'm looking forward to the summer or the sun coming out at least, and then me and my son will get out and get some blatting up the road done, But it's a cruiser, so it's not a fast bike, but it's fast enough you can kill yourself on it. So you just got to be careful, eh?
See, I've never rode bikes. I'm boring, I guess.
No, I haven't either.
I
never rode bikes.
Not motorbikes.
Yeah.
Four-wheeler from time to time, but not motorbikes.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to kill myself in one.
Nah, you'll be fine. Just go get some lessons, man, and just it's great fun. It's just you don't need to go crazy. You don't need to be a speed freak. You just have to get out there and enjoy the cruising around, and it's just great.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, can be.
So, what all things would you like? I know you said you have shows that you've been doing and stuff, but what shows coming up would you like to promote before we wrap this up, if any?
Yeah, they're all out there on the Facebook page and on the buntoutrec.com, and everything's out there. So it's nothing in particular. We're looking forward to them all because we really love playing live. And like I say, we don't get the chance to do it that often. So when we do, it's, we don't live particularly close to each other, so we never rehearse, which is a crazy thing. But, so we might get one rehearsal in, and that'll be it, whereas before we used to rehearse like twice a week or something, when the band first started. But we got some new players in, some guys left, and we got 2 new guitarists now, and we got Richard Upson on lead guitar. He's on the album Stand and Fight. He's the only lead guitarist on there, and the other guy is a young guy from Glasgow called Andy McLaughlin, and he is a fantastic guitar player, but unfortunately he just didn't join the band just in time, so he's not on the new album. I played rhythm guitar, Richard played his rhythm parts, and all the lead guitar is Richard. So that's how that went. you know, and Al on bass and Paul on drums. They've been there from the start, so
Sounds like a solid
all good.
lineup.
Well, yeah, but we really do need to rehearse more, you know. But we'll blag it. We'll get away with it, you know.
Do you do any online rehearsals with each other?
No.
It's when you meet up in person.
Yeah, we tried it, but there's a bit of a delay in it, you know. If you start playing, so it kind of got them a bit mixed up, like, you know. So that went out the window, you know, quickly, you know.
So for anybody that is listening, though, if you want to find Burnt Out Wreck, we will have the description below. It'll say exactly all the social media links, Facebook, all that stuff, where you can find all the shows that they're doing, and it will even show where you can find their album.
Very good, yeah. And
it's very, very easy to find.
Yeah, you know, if anybody gets a chance to come and see us, yeah, please do come and say hello. We love to talk to everybody and get involved. That's what it's all about.
When you come to the States, I am coming to go see you guys.
Yeah, I wish I could come to the States. It'd be awesome, wouldn't it? It'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
That's a definite place to play.
I'd love it. Play live.
Hell, I'd love to see you guys come to like Pittsburgh, because I live out towards Pittsburgh, PA. So if you ever are in that area, I'll come party with you guys.
That's dangerous.
It is dangerous. I'll bring the weed. Anyway.
That was a long time ago.
It was about 5 minutes ago. No, it was nice talking to you, Gary. I'll let you go because I'm sure you got
nice talking to you.
A long day ahead of you riding horses and stuff. Guys, go check out Burnout Wreck. They are incredible. And it was nice talking to you, Gary. Thank you again for joining us.
And you both. Thank you very much. Marvelous.
You have a lovely rest of your day. And everyone, as always, live long.
Live long, work hard.